I decided to compare and contrast the student-centered approach or the constructivist approach with the cooperative approach. The student-centered approach is also called the constructivist theory. This is where students have to individually discover information on their own. So they're constantly checking their old theories and revising them if they don't work anymore. With this approach, students have a very active role and teachers have more of a facilitator role. This is because the students are diving into information on their own, and teachers are kind of guiding them through as they discover that content for themselves. So the purpose for this approach is not to teach students just how to remember facts, how to remember dates, but it's how to think on their own and how to problem solve on their own, how to discover things by themselves without the teacher just telling them the answers. And then we have the cooperative approach, which is also called the peer-assisted approach. This is where students work together in smaller groups to help each other learn difficult content. So the groups that they have to work in can be very different. They can vary in size, learning preference, strengths and weaknesses, gender, but they're all kind of working toward the same goal. They're just maybe working on different things to reach that goal. One example would be the jigsaw activity, where students are given a large home group, then they break into smaller groups, become an expert on that one specific thing or that one specific topic, and then they report back what they found to their home group. So if they kind of become an expert, they feel confident in what they've just learned. And then we also have the think, pair, share. This is where students sit in pairs and the teacher asks questions. The students answer those questions in their small groups, and then they share with the whole class. So it kind of, again, gives them a chance to feel confident before they have to report to the whole class. Some similarities is that they both allow the students to be active in their education. So they both allow them to dive deeper into a subject on their own, as opposed to the teacher guiding them through and being more active. So instead of teachers being active, they're more of facilitators. They're kind of guiding them through the content, through the group work, to help them reach their goal. So it's less teachers and more students. Some differences is the student-centered approach focuses more on individual work, and the cooperative approach obviously focuses more on small group work. Another difference is that student-centered approach encourages students to discover content without a discussion, while the cooperative approach allows collaboration and discussion. So the student-centered is really focusing on the individual student discovering content on their own. Cooperative approaches where they're discovering the same content, but they're just doing it with the help of their peers. And then the last difference is that student-centered approach requires students to engage in every part of the content or the assignment. But the cooperative approach can allow students to complete one task in the group, and they're all working toward the same goal. So they all may be working toward making a poster, but one student may do the drawings. One student may do research on this one topic. Another may do research on another topic. Another may be the organizer. So they all have a goal and they all have an active role, but they're just working on different parts of the assignment to reach the same goal. Whereas a student-centered approach, the student would have to do all parts of the assignment. So as a summary, the two approaches, they both encourage student growth through discovery on their own. So they're both wanting the students to be very active in their education, and they're both wanting them to discover content on their own. But the student-centered approach only allows for individual work, so the students are working all on their own. But the constructivist approach wants students to grow through discovery with group work. And they both foster student achievement and teach some very important skills that are needed for life, skills like problem solving, like collaboration, like peer work. So they both have very important roles in education today, and they both have pretty much the same goal, which is discovery through of content through yourself and through getting the students to discover it. But their approaches are just a little bit different. So they are both very important to education, and they both do have a place in the classroom. All right.